Hi guys, it's Sally here. So this happened yesterday. I made these two lovely palettes. I've yet to name them and I need to put them on my website. I am just waiting for a paint order from the Netherlands. So as soon as that comes and I know I've got all the paints available, I will be putting these on my website. It seems to have already, the post I put up seemed to have got a bit of interest already and you seem to like them. So I'm just colour swatching here now. I haven't colour swatched on butterflies like this before, so I thought why not, I can just pile on the colour, and while I'm colour swatching you can see how I also can do a nice quick butterfly as well. So I just keep adding different colours. I had no idea what I was going to do and I just piled on the colour and just wanted to colour swatch for you. Sorry, I realised when I was filming that the paint I was putting down wasn't totally in focus, but then I realised, so I just moved it down a little bit and added that colour on. So you can see me, I'm in that rainbow because it sort of went out of focus. It's hard when you're concentrating on what you're doing on the practice board. Sometimes I'm not looking at the paint that I'm putting on, but you'll get a general idea and you'll see all the nice different colours being added to this butterfly. So I'm just moving down the chain and picking out just sections of colour, which ones I want. And of course I'm using one of my brushes that are now available in my set that I sell on my website. It's a beautiful brush, and it's this one actually isn't in the set, beg your pardon, this is the bigger one, but I've put the smaller one in the set because I think it's easier to use for most face painters, and the little ones probably prefer a smaller brush coming to their faces, especially if you're not used to these brushes. So I'll just turn the palette round now to use in a different way because I get into good habits of how I hold the palette so I don't execute in the wrong position, because even though this is a flat brush, it's still easy when you're holding the palette a certain way to execute it the wrong way. So again, I teach all this in person or on my online tuition. Now just swooping in some of the green and the yellow for the leaves, just to add even more colours to this colourful butterfly. And then I actually changed to a different brush. Again, this is in the set. This is the 3/4 short angle brush, beautiful brush. And I'm just going with it. As I said, I didn't come and do this video with any colours in mind. I've just kind of thrown it at it. And at least with a practice board, it either works or it doesn't, and you can just wash it off. So as you can see, there are all some lovely colours on there. And now I'm going to wash this off and just use some of the other colours as well, just to show you more swatching. And as you can see, nice and easy to wash off, dry it off as well. Obviously if the board's damp, then it will affect how your paints work with them being water based. So just going to swoop in some more colours. So many different variations, and me showing you what I've shown you here isn't going to be exhaustive, because you can use lots of other different variations, use this in different ways. You could even throw, like I showed you, you've got option to do some roses in there because you've got the nice light colours against the dark colours, so it should give some definition to your roses. Again, I teach you all about executing those well. I'm just going into the lighter colours. I always try and keep the middle of the butterfly lighter than the outside of the butterfly. It just aesthetically looks so much better when you're looking at it as a whole piece. So try and remember light on the inside and darker on the outside. You can always put some highlights and go lighter on the outside, but just as long as we've got that darker outside, then the butterfly looks way more flattering. And here, just swooping into the bluey colours and the yellows, and it just looks really pretty. There we go. And it doesn't take long at all to achieve this style butterfly. Now I'm just going into the nice light blues and the darker blue, and this creates a really nice rose. So I'm showing you, even though I wouldn't essentially call this a rose palette, you can use them for creating gorgeous roses too. And of course you've got some greenery in there which can introduce those green leaves and foliage in your designs. Whoops, that's my door with the delivery. Thankfully my husband's here. It's always all go here in this house. And as you can see, another butterfly, just to show you the different colour swatches for that. Dry it off again. And now I'm going to go on to this second palette. I think this is the one that has attracted most people's attention. I haven't made one like this before, with the smaller section on one side and the bigger section on the other side. And this gives loads and loads and loads of possibilities as well. So again, just colour swatching with a butterfly, just because I know with the butterfly I can get so many colours on it and create these beautiful rainbow coloured butterflies. A child will always see a rainbow in the stripes, in the colours, so it doesn't essentially have to be the perfect rainbow colour. You can just create a rainbow butterfly with using lots of different colours. That's what children will see as a rainbow coloured butterfly. I think working like this actually works better with some of the full neon one strokes out there, or regular rainbows, by breaking it up and using it in different sections. But of course I do have a rainbow within this palette which will look really nice as well, and I will be using this very shortly on this butterfly. But just putting lots of different colours down, just going for it. The beauty of a practice board, as I said, you can just play. If you don't like it, you can usually cover over it or just wash it off and start again. I sell all my practice boards and display boards on my website, and I've been selling them since 2015, and they are the original practice boards. There was nothing on the market out there before I created my practice boards. Obviously there's lots of other ones out there. I used to call them copies, but I'm kind of past that now. It's just not, my boards aren't always accessible to everybody if you're miles and miles away and the postage is too high for you. So it's nice that I see it as a good thing now that people can get the resources from other people. When you first start a product, it's upsetting when you think it's been copied, but then you get over it. You have to. There we go. So just creating that little rainbow, as you can see, above the head on the butterfly, just to show you another colour swatch, and hopefully you're enjoying it. And now I'm going to wash it off again. Nice off, get the kitchen towel, dry it off, and we're ready to paint Charlotte again. And the Charlotte board is Elaine Go's daughter. Elaine is in Australia, so she gave us approval to use her daughter's image for the practice board, and this one still sells really well. Here now I'm using a smaller brush. Obviously this video isn't really about a tutorial on butterflies, but I may as well tell you about the different brushes. This one is in my set of brushes that I sell on the website, that I use on all my jobs. So just going down the colour chain, starting off with the darker colours as said before, and moving down to the lighter colours. And then this way you take the butterfly in from out to in, rather looking at it from in to out, which isn't the way we normally look at anything. You want to see it in its true entirety. See all the beautiful outside of the butterfly wings moving inwards and taking it all in. And again, just going into some purples that you can just about see, because I kind of chopped the end off a bit, but you'll get the general idea of me colour swatching here. So many different colour varieties that I'm just picking out a few here that you can use. So each time you do a butterfly, they're going to be different from the last, which is lovely. It means you have all these children painted and they all look different, and I just think it looks lovely at an event or at a party. So as you can see, I'm trying to get the lighter elements in the middle of the face, by the eyes, because it's more flattering. Sometimes if you go too dark in the middle of a butterfly, the eyes can look bruised, or you're wondering, you think it looks lovely, but then if you look at it in more depth, you realise it would have looked better if the darker colour was going towards the outside of the eyes rather than the inside. They can start to look a bit mean or not as happy as they could do, the little children. We're just doing a nice quick rose here, finishing off again with the same brush, going into some greens. And I love that particular green combination. It's really subtle and doesn't stick out too much on the butterfly in this design. But of course you can go in a little bit darker just to break it up, but you can see how much darker it is and it does really pop forward. But this is a colour swatch exercise. I'm going into some blues, just popping them on just to show you again. Keep adding to it and see what you come up with. There we go. Obviously I give you the advice that how I paint. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm saying it's the only way to do it, but obviously I teach and I hope people enjoy what I do. So obviously I kind of discuss how it is I teach and what I do. So please don't say I'm saying you paint wrong, or you just do whatever you want to do, guys. And I'm washing it off again and drying it off again. There we go. And finally, I'm now going to use this palette just to create some nice quick roses, just to show you how we can use it to create gorgeous little roses as well, and create nice quick designs on the job. And now some pinky colours. And these are the first time I have used these palettes. So you can see how lovely and creamy they are. They don't need loads of working in. And this is what people say about my palettes, that they are nice and creamy to work with and easy to use. There we go. When you've used your palette and you want to bring it back to looking all lovely again, use a jade cloth like what I've been using to clean the board down, obviously a clean one, and rinse in warm water, and really so it's not very wet at all, so it's just mildly damp. Then wipe any of the paint off the sides in the waterproof foam, and then use your jade cloth, like make sure it's clean again, press it onto the paint, and then if you say find an old credit card or a margarine pot or something like that, something that's got a firmish plastic, and then if you cut it to the shape of the little one strokes, obviously this one's quite long, so you can just do them in a rectangle section, and then if you press down, your paints will come back all beautifully, and your palette when you go out will look as good as new. And it flattens any blemishes in your paint. So if you get one paint that's a bit more porous and it's made a bit of a ridge because you're using quite firm brushes, then this will iron out any of those little dents in your paint, etc. And your paints will look lovely for the next job. I refill loads of my palettes that I use, so it's really good for the environment that I just keep refilling mine. People do ask me if I refill one strokes that they've purchased, but sadly I don't, because when they've been given back to me, because I have done them in the past, they can be in a right state, and it usually takes me at least an hour to clean down and take the old paint out. And so it's really not that cost effective, because there would be a charge to this, and also you've got to post it back, etc, etc. Anyway, I hope you like this design, guys. It's a little rainbow just with some little flowers, but it is essentially a colour swatch to show you these paints. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it and have a wonderful day, guys. My website details are available on my pages. You can usually find the links in the About section. So, or you can message me to ask where the links are for purchasing any of my goods, or if you want to have online training. The classes are all pre-recorded, and there's over 114 as of today. Easy to follow. I explain them just like this. I can also give you advice and help. I can show you a tutorial if you need to see a specific one, and this gets shared within the private group, and the group is very safe. Nothing nasty goes on there. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed it, and here they are, these two gorgeous rainbow palettes that I need to name. Take care, guys. Bye.